Hello, everybody. Welcome to the last mile. And that sounds weird. Hold on while I just check this connection real quick. I'm not sure. I want to make sure it's my correct audio. Everything sound out good out there to you guys? Okay, it looks like it is connected to the mic. Maybe I'm just not hearing it right. And we're streaming to multiple platforms. Still, StreamYard does not stream to TikTok, but hey, guys, we haven't forgotten about you. If you see me turn this way, guys, on the StreamYard, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or no, I'm not running any others today. If you see me turn this way, I am looking at TikTok, and I've got a Jimmy Rig live going. So we'll see how that works out. So I don't know if I'll catch comments and whatnot, but I am over there as well. Um, oh, sounds fine. Thank you. What's up, Traveler? How are you doing? What's up, Bravado Mike? You know what, guys? I don't have my iPad here. I needed it for a couple things. Maybe we won't. Let me see if I need it. If I need it, I'll run and get it. Actually, you know what? Let me do that right now, just so I have it when we need it. And while I'm gone, I won't leave you bored. TikTok, sorry, I can't hook you up yet because oh wait, I'm not even live on TikTok. That's okay. I'll just go late with them. I was going to keep looking at that. It says go live on the bottom. I'll be right back. Let me grab the iPod. All right, now everything's connected, you guys. TikTok is live. Again, TikTok, sorry, people. I don't have connectivity to StreamYard. We are streaming on multiple platforms. I am just Jimmy rigging a live stream here on TikTok as well. But hey, guys, what's up? Welcome to the last mile. Got a couple things to go through today, and then I'm going to actually put a link in the show if any of you want to join. Would love to have you up here. Couple different things that I want to go through this week. This week's gonna be a little bit different because if you saw anything that I've done this week, I haven't chopped it into pieces yet because some of them were very long. We did, Mike Karubi was on with me on Monday. Kim Cavan and why we sued the Department of Labor was yesterday. By the way, across the 10 platforms that we streamed that to, we had over 5,000 views. So that was a very, very, very that's a big win for this space to have that many views, and we were streaming it to multiple parties, platforms, and whatnot. But big win. And then Mike Karubi and I went through some major things on Monday, and I have a last thing on Friday with John Lopez in Chicago. And if you guys know John, or if you're on Twitter or John, he's in the lives with Kim Cavan and Karen Anderson. And he's very knowledgeable. He's always dropping like, well, this is that versus this. He knows all the court cases, everything. But we're going to go through a lot of what's going on in Chicago when John joins on the podcast on Friday. If you're wondering what time it is, it won't appear until after we record because John And I might touch into some subjects where it might not be allowed on YouTube. And if we do that, the audio podcast, as always, unedited, uncut, Rideshare Rodeo audio podcast can be found on every single pod player in the world now. We are ranked in the top 5% of audio podcasts downloaded worldwide now. So, and that's not for this space, that's for all podcasts. So thank you to all the audio podcast listeners. So that will be played in full. If after we record it there is no issue, we will be in StreamYard recording that. So I will put the whole thing up if there's not going to be an issue, but I have a feeling we're going to touch on a couple subjects and I might have to chop those out before I can put it on YouTube, or else it'll just get pulled anyway. So what's up, Traveler? What's up, Bravada Mike? What's up, Sally? Hey, Ivanaska, how are you? And what's up to the people on oh, it looks like Josh. Hey, Josh, what's up? Josh is over on TikTok. And so are some other people. So thank you for joining on TikTok as well, guys. I cannot pay as much attention. I'm just trying to put some information out. So some things that I do live will be on TikTok as well, but not everything at all, because it's hard to do unless it's just me. And even then, if somebody joins me on the StreamYard, which, Josh, if you want to join, you're going to have to come over to YouTube, and I'd love to have you. So, but here's the thing, you guys, I want to go through a few things first. So, okay, let's talk about this. And again, TikTok, you won't see it, but hopefully I'll be explaining it well enough. Before I get into last mile stuff, for those of you that were here for the town hall this summer, if you remember the story, Stephanie Vigil, House Representative Vigil, and myself and David from Para and the Moves team, and even Solo, and even Pedro with GigCon, we're all supportive of the town hall. And it was the day after GigCon. And, you know, a lot of people challenged, well, how much did you guys really accomplish? Well, now Stephanie's bill is dead, right? Well, check this out, you guys. I want to show you something, because if you followed the story, you know that Senator Priola, a lot of people don't like him. He ran, I always get it backwards. He ran as a Republican, or no, he ran as a Democrat, then became a Republican like within a week of once he was elected, or the other way around. No, it was he ran as a Democrat and ran as a Republican, became a Democrat, but he was still leaning Republican on a lot of things. Stephanie, we knew would be there. We had a great turnout at the town hall. We invited Senator Priola, but we did not expect him to show up. Well, he did. And I think you guys know this. Sergio was there. He talked to him. Kim's Side Money Plans talked to him. Zach talked to him. I talked to him. We were all very surprised that he was there. We were happy. And now, guess what, you guys? Can a voice make a difference? Been telling you guys, you got to look into this stuff. Well, guess what? This is a new bill in Colorado, and we will come back to it in just a second, because I want to show you guys something first. So this is, if you guys remember, the original Senate bill that that Stephanie was trying to push didn't go through. Well, guess what, guys? Look, I want you to see look at the top 3 people of, and I'll read it to you on TikTok. But look at the top 3 people on who are sponsoring this bill. Look at the very top one. Senator Kevin Priola. Kevin Priola shot down the legislation that Stephanie wanted to push. And now he is sponsoring the bill to do pretty much the same thing. And it's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. That shows to me that we actually made a little bit of a difference there. It's exciting stuff. I did communicate with Stephanie, and I asked her, I said, wow, this is amazing. Like, how is this happening? So we got Rodriguez, we got Priola. I mean, this actually will probably go through. Now, we know legislation's coming everywhere. This one doesn't look as ugly as some of the other states, although they are pushing for some things. So Senate Bill 24075, Transportation Network Company Transparency. So what are we talking about here? What we're talking about is Colorado's the Rideshare Transparency and Deactivation Bill. So, Senate Bill 2475 Colorado has been introduced. The bill requires a rideshare company operating in the state of Colorado to provide various disclosures to the company's drivers regarding payment that a consumer makes to the company and the amount that the company then pays to a driver. Follow that, guys? You will now see what, and again, there used to, when it was like, when I started in 2015, it was pretty common. It was like an 85-15 split to my advantage, the driver. We all know that's changed over the years. Transparency's gone worse and worse and worse. We don't actually know the take rate for Uber. Well, now, not only will you see what they took, you'll also see the line items. So if they start introducing line items that are trying to pass the buck along to the consumer, we will see that on the line items. But if you get a flat rate, here it is. Here's here's the offer. Here's how many miles. Here's the pickup. Here's the drop off, time of day, all that, and here's the pay. Great. That's where they've been getting a lot of cities, and that's what the sad thing is. That's what we wanted forever: transparency, right? Well, here's the thing. Now, yeah, you can take any ones you want, just like you have been with the upfront pay. But here's the thing. Now you can, after the trip, or I don't know if it'll be after or before, but regardless, as a driver, you will see what the consumer was charged, and you'll see the line item breakdown too of why they're paying so much. So this is going to be a big deal because that allows us to say, wait, why is Uber, which is only, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm saying this clearly, it is only a dispatch company. It is nothing more than a dispatch cab company. That's all. And don't let anybody fool you. That's all it is. There's no technology in Uber. They have acquired tech companies and then resold them and taken them all for a loss, but they are not a tech company. So this will make sure that everybody's seeing all the transparent. It doesn't solve everything, no, but the TNC is required to disclose to drivers its driver deactivation policy. The division may impose fines against a company for violations of the bill. A person aggrieved by the company's violation of the bill may file a civil suit against the company seeking damages and injunctive relief. Now, are you looking forward to doing that kind of thing? Is that what you want to do? No. But the fact that it's able to do it is going to be huge, because that means that no longer, if you get it, I've been deactivated in Colorado, you can now demand to know, or once this passes, you can demand to know within 24 hours why you were deactivated. And there's a path to get that overturned if you want to say that didn't happen. I don't believe that. Now, we know a lot of people get deactivated who deserve it. And to those people, I honestly think this will help get rid of some of that too, because this will be a bipartisan, think of it that way, between the companies and the laws, of making sure that there's a way to figure this out. But it will also, I don't know if it will have a penalty or how it will work, but something's going to be in place, a mechanism to make sure that you better be honest, because if you know why you were deactivated and you truly did it, don't claim it, because there might be video, there might be some testimonial, whatever. But if you were truly deactivated and you're going, why, which we know does happen a lot, you will be able to say, no, I need to challenge this. And you'll be able to do it quickly. Like Novadash or Marco. He got deactivated from DoorDash. He did not know why. He was deactivated for 4, 5, 6 months. And then finally, out of nowhere, just got an email saying, hey, you're reactivated. No reason why, nothing. That won't happen here anymore. And the rideshare transparency part is huge. Now, it doesn't say a thing about DoorDash, Uber Eats, or any of those. So, in a way, guys, I got to say I'm kind of happy, because as I've been watching legislation and the 11 states about to pass legislation in this country regarding gig work, I think this is like, I was worried about our state, but this is the best looking one by not including that. Now, we know that they might very well drag it in after the fact, but they are working from a, hey, listen, in the taxi limousine commission, the TLC has rules and regulations for providing rides. Why shouldn't rideshare drivers obey by that? Now, that's the original Seattle model. Now, it hasn't taken into account any delivery drivers. However, rideshare drivers, you're going to have a lot more rights than you've ever had. And that's a great thing. And the deactivation challenge, I don't know. I've reached out to a couple people. I'm going to be talking to Stephanie hopefully tomorrow to find out if the deactivation part will apply to other gig apps like DoorDash, because I think DoorDash is one that needs to be under the microscope big time for wrongful deactivations. While at the same time, I'm going to be honest, I know a lot of people come on YouTube or whatever, say they were deactivated. They have no reason why. They have no idea why. I got to say, like, myself, I know that not everybody's being deactivated without cause. There are a lot of reasons with cause. So some of these people can't be right, but many are. Deactivation is a normal thing. So what are we talking about here? Listen, Senator Priola, this guy at the top, he didn't understand when we did the town hall, he didn't understand what the gig worker plight was all about, what we really go through. And that's why he shot down Stephanie's bill, which did have a couple other things in it and did want the food companies. Now, this doesn't have it, but here's the thing, you guys. So he was totally against the bill. Now he's the prime sponsor. He's actually on board. So what I got to say to this is, listen, this is a fact. I talked to him after the thing, and I've communicated with him on Twitter. Here's the thing. Did we make a difference? Everybody was like, what did that town hall do? I just showed you. We just got a senator to change his mind because he talked to drivers like us and understood, wait a minute, this isn't right. Hence change. Now, am I sitting here saying legislation? No. But there are 11 states on my radar. We will be talking about them very soon. I just got to get through this political week that I've been doing. But that are all have legislation that we can kind of roll through bullet points. I don't have the written full things, but I do know what the states that are doing it are pushing for. Some of those states I would not want to touch with a 10-foot pole with their legislation. It's trash, and it's going to hurt the gig workers. And they're very different too. Don't like Connecticut and New Jersey. Very, very different. Extreme. Those are two extreme differences, in fact, on what they're pushing. What'll come out of it, who knows? But 11 states are pushing it. And in 2020, when Prop 22 had to challenge AB5, that was the first state. Now we've only had two others, New York, that's been through it a couple times, but it's always a trash joke, never works out, always hurts the drivers, and the Seattle model. Minnesota's tried, but they've been shot down multiple times. Now we're actually pushing to have this go through soon. And this is how I think it should be. I have no problem with a legislation that says you have the right to challenge a wrongful deactivation, and you have the right to full transparency on the orders, but also to see what Uber makes behind it. Now, with that said, guys, if you remember, and this part I don't know yet because I have not gotten an answer from Stephanie or Priola because I just got this information today. But here's something to know. So if on this, if it doesn't say it exactly here, but Stephanie's legislation was that the customers would see the breakdown too. That's important. That's as much as I would like that the drivers get to see it so that we know, hey man, why did this customer pay? We already know it's bad, but now we'll see how bad. Are we getting 20%? Are we getting 10%? What is Uber taking? And this is going to be the first state to show that. So if they charge $100 for an airport ride to downtown Denver and they pay the driver $15, that's 15%. And we know there's been a lot of articles about that exact same thing happening, not just Denver, but a lot of airports. Airports have a manipulation system that they use. And, if you're not familiar, even take a bus if it depends on the layout of your airport. But if you can take a bus to like one of those um like long-term park and rides, if it's far away from the airport, if your airport's big enough like ours, or to the car rentals, take a shuttle to a car rental, then call an Uber. You're likely to get about half of the prices from the airport, but it depends on the airport. But again, we will see this all. Now, if the customers get to see it all too, that's going to be the real game changer. Because if the customers get to see Uber charged me $100 and the driver got 15, that's a big difference. So anyway, for those who question the town hall, was it a success? We said it was in the beginning, but now firm standing by it. Hell yeah, it was a success. Hell yeah, it was a success. Real quickly, I just want to show you guys this. The thumbnail I'm going to show you here, and then we'll jump in, is from the piece. It's from a clip of the piece I did with Mike Harubi. So if you see this thumbnail, you can watch this, but you can also watch the whole piece. I don't have that thumbnail available. I could not find it. But that's on a few platforms, but on YouTube, you can find these all for sure. TikTok people, Rideshare Rodeo on YouTube. Right now, you could be seeing what I'm showing, but soon we'll find some way to integrate this correctly. But then also yesterday, we did this one, Fight for Freelancers. We had Kim Cavan and we had Wilson from the Pacific Legal Foundation. If you're not familiar with the Pacific Legal Foundation, they sue the government. That is all they do. They are a law firm that sues the government. So Kim and three other ladies, all writers, 3 in New Jersey, 1 in Atlanta, are suing the government. And they're suing the DOL, the Department of Labor, over the rule change, which goes into effect March 11th. And there's a lot to be learned in both of those podcasts that we did. They're both on audio and on YouTube and other platforms, but those two are the ones that you can find them on for sure. And then tomorrow night we are back with the roundtable, so join us over there. So that was that's a big thing, you guys. Like, everybody kind of thought, or not everybody, but I mean, a lot of people said, great job. We had a great showing for something like that, and to have a senator and House of Representative member at this event and really hear from the drivers. And everybody who attended that event or who watched it live, but especially all the gig workers who were here, who attended and spoke, thank you. Because look, we made a change. Now, some people might say, you're going down a risky path with that legislation. You guys think what you want. Legislation's coming. There's nothing you can do about it. At this point, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can write to your senators. You can go to the driver rights movement right here, driverrights.org, driver singular rights.org. You can, and if you say get involved, which you just read the page, if you agree with what's on there, say get involved, it will, with 3 fields, your name, your email, and your state or your zip code, they will send you over to a thing that lets you send out an email to your senator in your state or whatever. And we have a pre-written comment that you can either go in and add to, or just wipe clean and write your own if you want to write it yourself. But with a pre-written one is strong enough, and we just need the amount of people to come in. So with that said, we won. So Traveler, you were here. Thank you. To all the people that were here, I mean, just everybody. We had so many. Hannibal was here, Pedro was there. I mean, we won, you guys. That was a win. We asked for something. We pushed for it. Didn't get Stephanie's bill, but we got this one. And if it allows the breakdown of the delivery platforms to the customers, I'm going to be stoked. Because if the customers get to see how much they're paying on these apps, I know some of you might be saying that's a loss because they might stop using it. Well, they already spend that much. My thought is it will if the customers start getting angry, that's the only thing the company has to pay attention to. They don't care about us drivers. We know we're acceptable collateral damage. They don't care. They've oversaturated markets so badly that um, to there's no way to do it. I mean, if the customers start complaining that, man, why are you taking 80% of this? Then they might try another platform. They might find out they're doing the same thing. Well, all of a sudden, people will get in a bit of an uproar. There will have to be a modification to the platform, but it won't be in the means of New York City saying 50 cents a minute for active time, because we all know what they're doing. They're actually pushing people out of the gig game. So it's almost like a block system. So like now when you're taking your tiers in New York, yeah, you can jump on, and they're about to move to a complete block system, which they tried with rideshare, complete failure. But you can get on, but they have New York's DoorDash, for example, has come out and said, we will not optimize your time over 65%. So at 30 cents a minute in an hour, or 50 cents a minute at an hour, what is that? $30. But they're only going to optimize 65% of your time at best. That means $18 an hour. So that floor meets ceiling thing that we've talked about in the past, they just did a double dip on that. They made sure you're not going to make over 18 here soon. Now, I know some New York City drivers are doing okay with this. The ones who are happy with it are the ones who weren't earning crap. The hustlers, the full-timers, us, they're already getting very unhappy with the New York City BS. So, what does that mean? That means that, hey, we're making noise and it's doing something, right? I'm going to put a link here to join the stream. I would love it if anybody who wants to today can, and we can talk about some other apps. So I'll put it in the show notes. Let me do this now. And yeah, if you want to join, please join. I would love to have you. And again, thank you for joining. By the way, tonight is the first night of. I'm gonna blank on what they're calling it. Kim and Zach used to do Money Hungry for the rideshare guy. They are now doing their own thing on both of their channels, dual stream. So as soon as this ends, the Gig Economy podcast happens, and then as soon as that ends, you can go over to Kim and Zach's channel and find their new show. So it's like a triple header now on Wednesdays. So Lyft has a floor of, yeah, but okay, but Traveler, isn't that a floor for active time, right? So, I mean, let's be honest. What do they need to do? Just keep you active when they want. And yeah, that's exactly the problem, Traveler. When we're talking about rideshare, Uber and Lyft, so not Uber Eats, but Uber and rideshare, that's the problem. That's what happened with Prop 22 too. In California, you have to, for Prop 22, you make 120% of minimum wage, which in California varies from $16 to $20 an hour, depending on where you are. San Francisco's the 20, it's actually $19.88, but we'll call it 20. So 120% means $24 an hour. Prop 22 has to guarantee that the Uber or Lyft platforms pay you. Now, this all was based on rideshare, not food delivery. So all the rideshare drivers in San Francisco, I know, make $30 to $50 an hour, depending on when it is. And even in the worst of times for active time, they don't make $24. They all make more. And so therefore they don't get to see any of the Prop 22 benefits. Let me see what the Carnifage has to say here. When I'm saying that, you guys, I'm reading this on this. Don't worry, I'm going to find a way to, I don't know how, but to integrate you guys with TikTok. Because I know you guys have been big supporters of the channel. And by the way, if you are watching the live on TikTok, thank you very much, guys. And please subscribe if you haven't. Somehow there's been some videos that have gone viral, or viral to me, not viral, but, really made a couple jumps up. And so please subscribe to the channel. Rideshare Rodeo, you're watching it now. I would appreciate that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today because of that. I kind of got thrown off base a little bit. Plus, this whole week's been political. And tomorrow I'm going to talk to Stephanie and then John Lopez. So every day this week has been a political item. So next week, jumping back into schedule. Thursday night, we got the roundtable. But we'll have Last Mile, the podcast, everything's going to kind of get back into gig space for at least a few weeks, probably till like middle or end of next month. And then we'll get back to a couple political things right before March 11th to prepare you guys. Since if you missed yesterday, we had Pacific Legal Foundation on with Kim, and they sued the government. And the lawyer was very, very felt very confident in this lawsuit. So there's some good stuff happening along with a lot of bad. Now, real quick, here's a side hustle for you guys. It's through Parapass. I don't qualify to do it, and many of you won't. So you might be saying, why am I even showing you this? Well, let me show it to you. So Hop, Skip, Drive, you guys have heard of it, right? Okay. The biggest thing here is, do you have 5 requirements? 5 years of caregiving experience, at least 23 years old, and a 4-door vehicle, 2014 or newer. If you do, Hop, Skip, Drive is looking to expand their nationwide footprint, and they are paying up to $50 per ride. So, yeah, so you can set your own hours, you can make money in your free time, you can help kids in your community, and they help you get bonded. So that is an opportunity where if in your area Hop, Skip, Drive is, and maybe you've even tried to sign up, maybe you're on a wait list. Well, guess what? Because it's on Parapass, you skip the line. Now, again, this is a new opportunity, but it kind of shows you what we're doing over at Parapass and Hop, Skip, Drive is no joke. Them giving us the skip the line feature that GoPuff did. Now I know GoPuff has been a dud for a lot of people. Even for me, my biggest issue with GoPuff, and they were talking about changing it. They haven't ever since they did the Parapass thing, but they understood what I was saying, was that I didn't like how you had to go to a geo-fenced area at a certain time to see what blocks were dropped, only because that's just not how it should work, A, but B, there weren't many blocks. I went over there a couple times at the drop times, and there'd be like one, and somebody snagged it, but I wouldn't have even snagged it anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think they would pick up huge if they got rid of that geofencing. So again, guys, there is a link. I don't know if that link maybe didn't stay. Oh yeah, it did. I'll pin it to the top. There you guys go. It's pinned. If anybody wants to join me and talk about any last mile apps, please do. Let me see what else I had for you here today. You guys, I got super excited by the news that what our state is doing. At the same time, I knew legislation was coming. I was very worried about it because I thought it was going to be something along the lines of killing our flexibility, our independence, our right to earn when we want on our terms. And again, guys, when you come to this channel, I know you know I'm a independent contractor, traditional, going back to the 90s. So I've done lasers, lighting, sound, pyrotechnics, staging, and we do all the Carnival Cruise Lines. We do all the laser company. We do all of Toyota corporate. We do all of Kraft Food corporate. We do worldwide tours. I've been to several countries to do tours, and especially when I was down in Miami for the first 2 years doing a salary position before I went independent contractor with the laser company and other companies. I was down in South and Central America a lot. So I learned a lot about how those markets work too. And, I've developed a skill set, so I don't want to lose my independence. But on that note, if you will be in Miami on October 18th, 19th, and 20th, I know it's a ways out, but I will be there too. I will be working the Taylor Swift shows at Hard Rock Stadium doing the lasers. So pretty excited about that. It's been a minute. Last thing I did was the Willie show. Willie Nelson's 90th birthday at the in LA. And so what I do want to talk to you guys about though too, also, I've had these great days with Curry guys lately. I'll go through this here real quick, but they've been unusual. I've done like today, I did 3 curries that I normally wouldn't take. The amounts weren't that high, but they were 1 to 4 miles on all 3 of them. No higher than 4, no less than 1, and they were all every time they came in, they were like 2 miles from me or a mile from me. And they were all coming in at like 25, $27. So it's not usually those are I'm looking for the big numbers, and I'm looking for the thousands and multi hundreds that get me out of state because I don't mind. And I love putting miles on my car because mileage is a gig worker's best friend. Um, so that said, it's been a little odd. Now there's been other orders too. It was jamming for a minute. It did slow here a little bit this week in terms of offers coming through. But then today I got these like little offers. I was like, okay, well, I mean, hell, they're still picking away new clients. And again, I will relate it to other winters. This is the best this is the most offers in January I've ever seen. And yes, we're at the 24th, but we could go back to the 15th of January and it's still the most curry offers I've seen in January by the 15th of January by a lot. Now at the 24th by a lot more. So um so yeah, I've been doing some curries, and next week we will do a full curry breakdown. Again, and I'm saving some screenshots. We're gonna play, and I'm gonna try and make it somehow a win game. Maybe you guys can win an Amazon card or something. About um, would you take these? I'm trying to figure out a way to play it. I might need somebody to help me out to be my to assist me in that, but I'll put up like a lot of screenshot offers and I won't say a word. I'll put them up and then I'll just watch the comments and check mark. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. I'll keep a tally, and then after each one, I'll say why, and then we'll see who won at the end. I need to figure out how that would work, but it would be fun. I know you guys like playing that. Um, the other thing that I wanted to mention is fetch. I saw Derek in the chat. So Derek has done fetch. I had a fetch deliveries. By the way, if you guys if you look up fetch, it's also an app in the app stores. But if you look up fetch delivery, you will see a blue dog, and you can download that. If it's in your market, you should try it because it reminds me of the early days of like VHO. It's like package delivery to apartments. Now, like I said, Derek has done one of these or two of these or a few of these. I had one scheduled and I even had the live stream scheduled. But as we know, or as all of us in Colorado know, and as I think I made apparent to all of you guys who listen and watch on a regular basis, we had a major storm here. So my fetch block got canceled. I have seen a couple others come through, but not in the way that they were before, probably because some people are getting good at it like Derek. So this is what happened to me with curry in the beginning was I said, wait, I need to be involved in this. So, I got in on the ground level. So maybe Derek's killing it, but I also have started to see him too. And I'm starting to get more of a, how it works and how they come through, but I did have that grabbed and now I gotta, now I'm still waiting to grab another one so I can give you guys the feedback. But what I did get on Monday, I had does anybody know what this is? We've talked about it before. Anybody know? Anybody know at all what company this is? It's a last mile courier app. You guys can't see it on TikTok. It's a green M logo with white and green in the background. Green clouds, kind of like opacity levels low, and then white, and then a green M. It's a last mile app. Okay, I'm not getting anybody, but I think some of you do know it. You might be driving and working. I don't know. It's Metrobi. If you guys go to metrobi.com, okay, let me see if I can share this without sacrificing some internet here. Because I will show you a couple things about Metrobi. I'm not going to be able to pull it up. Shit. Sorry, guys. So I did my first Metrobi. Metrobi, from what I can tell here in Denver anyway, I know that we had the CEO of Metrobi on. Actually, usually I have those on the audio podcast, but we had the CEO of Metrobi on the round table. There's only been 2 CEOs ever on the round table, maybe a third. Well, Gary Middleton, but he's on every week, or he used to be on every week. But we've had 2 other CEOs, Metrobi, and then one of the um, I'm drawing a blank on its name, but it was an insurance company for gig workers out of Chicago. Both them and the other one that was pretty Buckle, that was pretty nationwide, have both temporarily closed for good. I don't know. It's kind of like portable benefits. They're having so much trouble trying to figure out this space. Again, those kind of benefits have that much trouble more being possible without a definition, which I always say we don't have in the gig space. We do not have a definition. We are not a defined space. We are not traditional independent contractors. We are not employees, but we're called independent contractors. So I call it a hybrid. But because of that, there's different state legislations, and you all guys all need to be aware of it. And you know what state you live in. So if you think you live in a state where I bet it would come here, guess what? It will. So that said, oh, looks like Derek has it one at 10 a.m. tomorrow, a fetch. So I'm glad I get to turn some of you guys onto these apps. This one, Metrobi, I don't know how many cities it's launched in yet. It's been here for a while. They had a unique onboarding process when I did onboard a while back. They did this thing where you had to, you had like 3 different days to choose from, and it came in a text and it just said, pick one, or, it had 3 different links on 3 different days and times. And then you just had to go to any one of them. And if you did, then they activated you. You just had to show up and say, I'm here. And then they walked you through this little thing in like 5 minutes. It was very simple. It was just like most deliveries, but at least here in Denver, not just what I did, but what I've heard too is Metrobi is a lot of food contracting and like to restaurants, getting restaurants last mile stuff, and floral. And I see floral on Roadie as well, but Roadie is trash, right, guys? I mean, come on, guys. Anybody want to argue the Roadie is trash thing? If you want to argue about Roadie not being trash, get your ass up here. Love to talk to you. Oh, you mean, yeah, okay. So wait, tomorrow's Thursday. Batches drop on Thursday. See, that's weird, Derek, because he's talking about Fetch now. I thought the Fetch app says that they drop on Wednesday, but I think it says it drops to like premium drivers and then to everybody on Thursday or something weird. So it's weird because Monday and Tuesday, even sometimes Sunday, and I'm sure Derek does too, I see offers come in. So I don't know what they mean. They drop the batches on Wednesday or Thursday, because I see them drop all through the day. So, or all through the week. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've probably seen more on other days than these drop days. I don't know. So what is Chris talking about here? And I'm trying to keep you guys in here. Chris is saying $14.96 for 658 with an overnight hold, total round trip 1,400. So, well, it'd be 1,300 round trip, right? 1496. I'm guessing 14. You're saying $1,496 for 658 miles with an overnight hold. Total round trip would be 1,300, right? Yeah, 1,300 and 1,316 is what it would be. So that's a curry offer, you guys. By the way, on TikTok, that's a curry offer. $1,496 for 658 miles. The question I would have, Chris, is what is the payload? Not that for that money I wouldn't do it anyway. You guys know me. I'll load hundreds of pounds of paint. I don't care. But it does take when you're doing the long ones, especially me, because I've noticed it going through the mountains and stuff. When you have 700 pounds of paint or something in the back, you do spend a little more gas. Let me tell you that. Home to home, 1,400. 160 to the shipper. What does that mean? Is this not Curry? Maybe this isn't Curry. I don't know what you're. I think I've wait, sorry. Watching on phone. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what 160 to the shipper means though. Because that shouldn't are we talking if we're talking about curry, that shouldn't be in there. I mean, that's I'm using my phone to stream to TikTok, right? I would show you, but that's not they don't ever show what the shipper there's nothing ever for the shipper in the curry. And if they're the shipper is the one who's paying. So not really sure what that is. Oh, wait. Tulsa to Wichita, Wichita to Minneapolis. I'm not I am so confused. I'm guys on TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments and we know Chris. He's a good guy, but he's typing this out on the phone. And I just saw Tulsa to Wichita, Wichita to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh, you mean like it's a 3-stop? Is that what you're saying? So Chris, I'm not sure where you are. A lot of people that come in here, I do know where they're from. I'm not sure where you are, but you're saying wherever you are. Oh no, it must. Well, at least the first pickup is in Tulsa. You need to take that to Wichita, Kansas, and then Wichita, Kansas to Minneapolis, and then Minnesota to home, and it's a Curry. Is that what you're saying? So where's home? So you're doing a triangle, and that whole round trip is going to be 1,400 miles. Is that right? 1,400, and you said 1,496. Hell yeah, I'd take that all day long, dude. Because, and here's why, you guys, not only the money. I mean, look, guys, people in the gig economy, I think all you know this. I'm not breaking news here. All suffering. The apps are suffering very hard right now. But 1496, that's over $1 a mile the whole way. Even if and then it sounds like Minnesota to home, you will be deadheading with no load, in which case you want to go to like a Go Ship or some of these websites where you can see if there's a pickup in Minnesota, maybe even going partial back or any of that. But the other thing is, you say that, okay, for TikTok, I'm going to read it here too. He is talking about 4 pieces of metal pipe, 10 feet long, at a total of 230 pounds. So using a trailer, 10 feet long. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what you drive, but I have seen some retrofit pipe racks because pipes are so needed, like on SUVs, even, guys. I'm just telling you, it's pretty interesting. I've seen them. I've seen these like steel bars that then cross and then do X crosses on the top, and they're welded together, and they're retrofit on top of vehicles, and or in the back of instead of it being, you know, a whole whatever. If the vehicle can handle it, I've seen some. I don't know how much weight they can handle, but it sounds like that'd be like that type of thing. But even with the trailer, that's great. I would do that all day. What I would look to do, since you're taking the trailer, is I would get on if you're on dispatch, if you're on freight, if you're on any of them, and even if they're not always busy, get on there. Even Bungie, that I hate to death. I think Bungie should be eliminated. Get on all of them and be willing to take anything else, because like Bud Soda, there's no reason you can't stack it. You're an independent contractor. You can take that curry load, and if you can fit on more, even if it look, let's take part of your trip. So you're going from you know, let's say the second part, Wichita to Minneapolis. If in Wichita there's a pickup and it's going to, I'm trying to get my bearings down on my how would you go to Minneapolis? Let's just say somehow Omaha, Nebraska is on the way, because I'm not sure, but it's north of it, and then you got to go to Minnesota. So let's say that Wichita to Minneapolis, you have that curry load, but then let's say that there's a Wichita to Omaha. You can do that, and as long as you've picked up the multi-state curry, you're okay to go a little off route, as long as you still, you know, make it in a timely sense. You can't go too off route, but I mean, like, look on the Go Share stuff. I mean, I'll put a community post out, you guys, because this is an episode we will be doing about website work that isn't app based. They're just like 18 independent contractor truck drivers, 18 wheelers, have these boards they can go to. Well, many of those boards have gone to 18 wheeler independent contractors don't want to take their rigs out with these gas rates and with some of the low paying offers. So some of them are getting pushed to smaller vehicles, or with a trailer, you might be able to double what you're earning, or another 50% of that 1,400. You might be able to make $2,000 out of it by picking up something along the way extra. So I would not just look at it as that's sweet. I'd look at it as, you know what else can I add? I mean, I always try that when I do multi-state, like when I took Curry to Vegas, when I took Curry to Utah, Richmond, and when I took it to Salt Lake City and just beyond. Those were all three of those were very long trips. I wasn't lucky enough to get any partials or anything, but I did look, and now I know about more places to look. So I'll put a community post out on that. What's up, Jersey? How you doing? Let's see. So Chris is saying, "Oh, I am watching 8 different apps for something going the same way." Okay, well, there's websites too. So in the show notes of this, you know what? That's what I'll do. Instead of a community post, come back here tomorrow, because I've been so preoccupied, and even after this, I have some other stuff I have to do around this John Lopez thing tomorrow, and talking to Stephanie Vigil and the congressman. So I know, guys, this channel is we're all over the map, but that's good. You know what? Call it variety, call it what you will, because we're making changes. You know what? On this channel, we don't argue. I'm not going to teach you how to put a bag at a door, but we're going to talk. You know, we'll throw in some legislation talk, but we'll throw in some earnings talk too. I've told you guys for a long time, move away from the giants, move away from the delivery apps. Food delivery is dying. And it's dying because this price is increasing to the customers too. And we are no longer in pandemic times. We knew this wouldn't last forever. Rideshare will be around forever. It needs to be changed a bit, and delivery will be too, but it's going to be changed a lot, and legislation is going to do that a little bit too. So, but I've been saying that, like we've already seen, like Kim's Side Money Plan. She does a lot of this, a lot of food delivery, and she's been moving more to like Instacart. And Kim and I have have an understanding. We don't like Instacart, but she's starting to like Instacart. So, but at the same time, Uber is trying to acquire Instacart, and that's a scary thing. That's a very scary thing. But yeah, Chris, come back tomorrow, and at some point tonight before I go to bed, I will at least put 1 or 2 links of websites you can go to and just check their boards. It takes a minute to create a username. And then it really is just about showing up and grabbing them. You'll see. I'll put only 1 or 2 easy ones to navigate. But yeah, I mean, you should do that. So, hey, TikTok, I hope I hope you guys are getting something out of this. Once they integrate it to StreamYard, it'll be much easier. So, let's see. What else can I tell you guys before we wrap it up here? Because next week is full Curry, and actually, I would love somebody to volunteer to help me. You can leave your screen off next week. You could come in and be an avatar like this. You know what I mean? We see this on a lot of live streams. I'm fine with that, but I could use somebody's help for. I want to play a game, And oh, by the way, with Metrobi, one cool thing about Metrobi. You guys know how I have those VIP Curry cards where I can land clients. And if I do, when I'm doing freight or dispatch or any of these other apps, I get, it's not like $20. They pay me decent money. Metrobi, and that's for me on Curry, but Metrobi for everybody. If you land an account, so if you go to do a Curry, a dispatch, a freight, anything like that, and you can you drop or you pitch a Metrobi thing or something, and you give a link. Once you signed up, you have one. If any vendor customer signs up for Metrobi, as soon as they do their first offer, or as soon as they do their first order on Metrobi, one order, they don't even need to do long-term stuff, one order. As soon as they do that first one, you get $250 in Amazon gift cards, plus your pay. So that's a pretty big deal. I don't know, because they're new. Like here in Denver, they're still new. So of course that helps them to build that out. You know, and then there's like travelers saying, yeah, they're not in Syracuse yet, but we know this is how it works, guys. They don't go everywhere. They started in Boston. They've been there for about a couple years. And they came here about 6-8 months ago. You know, so I mean, they roll out slow, and then once the wave gets going, they continue it even more. But as we know, the last mile courier space now has more app work than any other space. Rideshare, food delivery, shopping, all of them. Last mile courier has more apps and offers than any of those. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up because nobody joined me today. And sometimes I got people beating down the door to join. So I don't know what's going on. But here's the thing. Go check out the Gig Economy podcast. They start in 4 minutes. And check out Jason and Jesper. And then tonight, make sure to check out Kim and Zach. It's their first show not under the Rideshare Guy label. This is their independent pitch. And it will be on both Zach Drives Fast and Kim's Side Money Plans. Check them out and check out the Gig Economy podcast. Next week, we're going to be doing all curry. It's going to be an all curry episode. We're going to play some catch up, all kinds of things. So don't miss next week's episode. Thank you for joining. You know, guys, be smart, or, you know, earn smart, be safe, and be good to each other. You know what I'm saying? All right. Peace.
Parapass is Para's new streamlined onboarding tool, helping you earn more by unlocking new, long-term work opportunities in your area, and offering you a simplified and fast-track sign-up and onboarding process. With Parapass, you get exclusive access to local opportunities. Para drivers are the first to be notified of new partner onboarding opportunities in their area. These gigs range from long-term full-time opportunities to extra work you can use to fill in downtime between your main platform work peak hours. You'll also get one-click simplified sign-up process. Sign up for multiple gigs at once. Once you've created your Para profile, you can use this to easily sign up for partner gigs without entering your information over and over again. Parapass opportunities come with expedited onboarding. With Parapass, you skip the line and just complete the onboarding essentials. A fast-tracked onboarding means you can start earning even sooner. Finally, you can manage all of your work in one place. When you complete your Para profile and onboard with Parapass, you'll have early access to Para's new app integrations, meaning you not only have more work, you can manage it all in one place. To qualify for Parapass and unlock these exciting opportunities, simply complete your Para profile. Once everything is verified, you're given the master